You'd talk if I exposed a family secret that would ruin everyone's lives but mine? Who am I kidding? I know I would be the asshole. I'm not even justified, but I don't care. I just want to see irreparable pain. Context: my husband, 25M, and I, 25F, are high school sweethearts. But we come from two completely different worlds. We're both American, and we're both Muslim, but his family is deeply attached to his home country's culture and traditions. He's second gen from an Arab family, whereas mine isn't. I'm third gen from a Hispanic family and very Americanized. To make a long story very short, from 16 till we were 22, his family never accepted me because I'm not Arab, and he never advocated for me. What changed at 22? We had a child out of wedlock. No, sorry, we were 22 when my now husband told his family we had a child out of wedlock. We were 21 when we had our baby. Our baby whose birth he didn't attend, but still wanted to name, and whose existence he kept hidden until he couldn't anymore. Okay, so there's the cat out of the bag. We had a baby in 2020 but didn't marry until 2021, except the cat isn't out of the bag yet. When his family found out, they hurried to get us married and fix this. At the time I thought they came around. My husband didn't really communicate well between me and his family, so I just assumed the best. In retrospect, I was naive as fuck, and it's so clear looking back that his family didn't suddenly have a change of heart after learning about our son, and that they only allowed us to marry as a means of damage control so they could save face to their community and their home country. And by allowed I mean we were told to sign the papers and be done with it. No planning, no celebration, no wedding by any means, no nice pictures, no social media posts. Nothing. I was upset, but I also didn't want to be the kind of person who whines over not having attention. IDK again, dumb as fuck. After our cat kitab, marriage signing, the first thing my mill discussed was not posting pictures together until she did to announce it, not having a second baby until she said our shit was fixed, not posting our already existing child for the same reason, and not talking about the circumstances of our marriage in any way to anyone. I know what you're thinking. I was an adult with a voice, and I was. I was 22. But at the time I was so concerned with being polite and respectful I just kept my mouth shut. Again, I don't know why I was like this. I hate my entire reaction in retrospect. I thought I was doing the right thing at the time to foster good relations, but that was never going to happen. I didn't say anything about my concerns and frustrations to my husband from our marriage date in 2021 until the start of 2023. I didn't want to cause problems at the time. Again, why was I such a people pleaser? Anyway, 3 years later and I'm filled to the brim with resentment, all because some woman who never accepted me needed to bury some shit that doesn't, nor will ever, affect me. And then my own husband didn't advocate for me. And I allowed it all. I don't care anymore that he's scared of his mother and the threats she makes. I should be worth sacrificing for, the way I've sacrificed for him. He swears he wants to confront her and set boundaries, but IDK, I just don't care anymore. It's just talk now. It always has been, and I've run out of patience and hope for change. I know it sounds petty, and I know the bulk of this all happened years ago, but it all just really hit me that I actually won't ever experience being proposed to, or being a bride, having a bridal shower, picking a venue and bridesmaids, or being walked down the aisle. I actually will never experience picking out my wedding dress. And I will never have a wedding or any celebration of my marriage. And the people who took that away from me get to just move on? Not just that, but my in-laws genuinely believe that we deserve this. That we didn't deserve to have a wedding because that's what you get. I used to think that I owed these people, this culture, something because I was wrong, but I really don't. I didn't lie to anyone. I was honest with my parents from the day I met my husband. And when they pushed back because of their own prejudice, I advocated for him. He never afforded me the same, and I don't owe a foreign culture that will never accept me a damn thing. My mill didn't accept me because she's some open-minded person. She accepted me because her son got a white girl pregnant outside of marriage and she had no choice but to. Her words, not mine. I know I would be the asshole if I exposed this mess, and not a justified one, and I know I allowed all of this to happen to me regardless of naivety or hope or believing empty promises or rose-tinted glasses. I allowed it all. And I know I need therapy, but I just want to see them lose something that matters to them. Thanks for listening. Love you, Morgan. Info: the damage control, saving face was announcing our marriage when it happened in 2021, but hiding the existence of our son until sufficient time has passed. Our marriage was announced in November 2021, and our son was born in September 2022. We don't see any of my husband's extended family or greater community IRL, so they only know what's shared online.
Info: The reason why my son's actual age would affect my husband and his family is because his family is still very much engaged with their ballad village in the Blad, back home country. They would never be able to return to their ballad if this kind of secret came to light. If anyone reading this is familiar with non-Western cultures, you might understand and be able to explain better. For the Muslims, before you judge with bias, I'm not a practicing Muslim, nor was I raised Muslim. I converted, no, not for my husband, later in my life. Neither are my in-laws practicing. My in-laws didn't care about Islam when my husband and I wanted to marry because I was the wrong race. They didn't care about Islam when they threatened to cut kinship ties, knowing that's also haram, because my husband wanted to marry me. But when a child was involved, then they wanted to talk about making the halal easy. And then they threatened us into compliance so they could go back to putting their culture before Islam. I used to think I was the only person in the wrong, but then I talked to an imam and a sheikh, both of which told me there were faults on both sides, but even then, the way my mill treated me was un-Islamic, and she didn't have the right to interfere in our marriage the way that she did. We should have lied about the date we married, not the existence of my son. That came from an imam, not my own opinion. Now, next news story. Wife of 4 years had an affair with my stepfather. Haven't said any of this out loud, or typed it out to anyone besides my family and therapist. Here goes nothing. I'm going to give the full background so everything falls into place. My wife, 26F, and I, 26M, have been together since we were both in 7th grade middle school. We went through all of high school in the same college together with 0 breaks or time offs. We always had a strong connection and loved each other throughout those 9 school years. Everyone in our classes knew we would get married. Got voted that at prom Lowell, I proposed our junior year of college and we got married after graduating. We were both 22. My parents got divorced when I was 6. Then my mom remarried when I was 15. Mom was 48 and he was 52. He was a basketball player, played 4 years at a D1 college and played overseas for 5+ years. Never was good enough for G League or NBA. But he had married my mother after all that and is a roofer ever since. He is 63 now. Me personally, I'm 5'6" and never played any sports throughout school. Don't get me wrong. I always made sure to stay in shape and always went to the gym regularly my entire life, but I never competitive sports mainly because of my height. Anyways, so basically my wife has known my stepfather for as long as I have. Anytime he would see me, she would be with me. Fast forward now, we're 4 years into marriage and 1 child, 2 years old. My mother lives less than 5 minutes from us, so we always see them. My wife is an engineer, and I work in pharmaceutical sales. My schedule is always different daily, but I'm mainly always working 8-4, most of the days coming after 4. One day I had nearly half my sales closed early and was headed home around 1. I pull in and see my stepfather's car parked in the street down from us. At first I thought, oh, he knows someone in the neighborhood. I go home and I always walk in through the side door, not the garage, quicker to get in. Coincidentally, there's no ring camera there. I walk in and right away just hear loud sus noises. I go upstairs quietly, open our bedroom door, and see my 26F wife having sex with my 63-year-old stepfather in our bed. The worst part was they couldn't even hear me open the door, so it was maybe 15 seconds of me just standing there, jaw dropped, speechless, maybe 5 to 6 feet away from them. Her only single repeated answer to why she did it was, I just needed something different. Until this day, I never know when it started. I keep assuming minimum 5+ years since they have known each other for 11 years. I'll probably never know. Going through the divorce process now. And honestly, I felt 100x worse for my mother. The pain she's also in is terrible. And yes, I did get a paternity test and the child is mine. But in summary, I never felt being less of a man till now, but working on a better self.